Hey everybody out there, this is Seto Kaiba, and today for you guys, I'm going to be doing a deck profile of the one, the only, Dark Magician. Yes, the ultimate wizard in terms of attack and defense. Yugi Moto was telling you a lie when he said that, because Cosmo Queen is the best spellcaster normal monster. Why there is no deck around Cosmo Queen, I do not know. But beside the point, we're going to be doing a deck profile of Dark Magician for you guys today. I decided to do an update of this deck due to the fact that I haven't updated it since Master Rule 4. I decided to update it now that we're really in the thick of Master Rule 5, even though we have no events going on. So yeah, I wanted to update this for you guys and just show you what I've been playing around with recently. I've tweaked a little bit of things in the extra deck, and I've tweaked some ratios in the main deck. It hasn't changed that much since the last time I updated it, but I thought it was high time to do an update of it. Considering the fact that I did a Dark Magician Girl deck profile not too long ago, I did a ritual version of Dark Magician. Well, now we're going to do the main boy himself, Dark Magician. So, let us get into a deck profile, guys. So first off, we're going to run our 3 Dark Magician, the ultimate wizard in terms of attack and defense. Like I said, that is a lie told by Yugi Moto and his grandpa. So yes, I love the original artwork of Dark Magician, guys, from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Structure decks. I also love the Arcana Dark Magician, so that's why you see me running these artworks. But, you know, it's Dark Magician. He is the main reason, he's the main focus of this deck, just like a lot of nostalgic decks like Red Eyes and Blue Eyes and Dark Magician. So, he's your main monster. Next we have 3 Eternal Souls, and then that's when everybody goes, I don't have Eternal Souls. And I say, I understand, it is a lot of money till the day it gets a reprint, and hopefully it goes down a little bit more. I'm happy they didn't hit this card. I was a little concerned that they would, but alas, it has lived, and I didn't think they were going to hit it, but I was just a little afraid that could be something they were thinking of. They usually don't hit cards that are related to, Blue Eyes or Dark Magician. But this card's amazing, and if you have access to this card, you run this card. There are other cards you can run the deck, and you can play the deck a little bit differently. Some options, I would say, if you don't have Eternal Souls, is maybe running 3 Magician's Navigation. Maybe you also run an Eye of Timaeus, and you kind of run it the standard way that you've been running it for a long period of time. So you would run the additional cards that I have in here, but maybe you run a second Navigation, an Eye of Timaeus, and maybe something else, whatever fits your fancy. There's different ways to run it. Maybe you could tech in a Dark Magician Girl, and then you run in some Dark Magician cards like a Printer and Master, I think it is, the card that allows you to do stuff, and then the card that nukes the world, pretty much if you have Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl on the field. So you see there's different cards you could tech in, is what I'm trying to explain here. But if you have access, you run this card. Great card. Next we have 3 Magician's Rod. It's your main searcher of the deck. It is pretty much going to be your main normal summon of the deck as well. This deck doesn't have a lot of normal summons per se, but this is going to be your main one because it's going to search out a good chunk of your deck, probably 70 to 75% of your deck. Mainly all your spells and a good majority of your traps are going to be searched out by this card. So that is why we run it as a 3-of. It's a Stratos for the deck, pretty much. Next we run 2 Apprentice Illusion Magicians. Some people like 3-of, I like 2-of. These are my jump versions that I've had forever. I find that this card's great as a 2-of. It is not as great as it was. If you're running a 3rd Navigation, this card's going to be a little bit better, because if you draw double Navigation, this will help search out your Dark Magician. That still does happen, just not as much now that we have Magician's Soul. And in addition to that, this card's still good because it helps you get around bigger monsters. But I find as a 3-of, it gets a little cloggy, and there's other cards I'd rather run. So for that reason, those reasons I've stated, I like it as a 2-of. But I will always love the artwork of this card. Next we run 1 Magicians of Dark Illusion. Now people always ask, hey, you should just run a 3rd Apprentice Illusion Magician, and I get that. But the problem is, Apprentice Illusion Magician is now level 7. It's a level 6. This is still a good card in the deck, and can help you go for level 7 Exceed plays. So mainly I'm going to use this guy to help go into my level 7 Exceed plays. In addition to that, he has a decent effect, so I like him as a 1-of in the deck. It's just a 1-of in my opinion. Next, I won one Spellbook of Prophecy. This is probably going to be your 4th normal summonable monster in the entire deck. Compared to the Dark Magician Girl deck, this and the Ritual version, this has the least normal summonable normal monster, monsters that you're going to normal summon, which is great because usually they're going to be more alive if you draw them, as long as they don't get Effect Veilered or Ash Blossomed. But this card's going to pretty much search out your draw engine for the deck, which is your Spellbook of Secrets or your Spellbook of Knowledge, which is pretty much your generic draw engine for the deck because this is a spellcaster-based deck. Next, we're going to run 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Springs because Ash Blossom and Joyous Springs, it's a great card. If you want to run Effect Veiler, that's perfectly fine because that can be tutored out through Magician's Navigation and you can go into some cool combos. But or Night and Sorcerer if you want to run that too. That's something some people still tech in as a spellcaster tuner. But I do like it just as a 3. I like this over those. You can run DD Crow if you want. You can run Ash Blossom, Effect Veiler, Ghost Ogre, whatever fits your fancy. Run it. I like Ash Blossom. So I run it as a 3 in the main deck, and then you can side out whatever you want. Like if you're going game 2 and you're playing against a graveyard deck, hey, put Call by the Grave into the main deck. Next we run 3 Dark Magician Circle. This card's amazing. These are my first Ed ones I got from years ago when this set originally came out. We run 3 of this card. This card's gotten better and better with time, in my humble opinion. It's just gotten better. It's like a fine wine, it feels like. It just gets a little bit better year by year because of its versatility. And it gets better because of the versatility that different Dark Magician cards keep getting added to the archetype that this card can add. And for that reason, that's why it's getting a little bit better in that aspect. But still a great card, a staple 3 of. And it runs beautifully well. And one of the reasons that's even gotten a little bit better recently is because of this card right here, which is Soul Servant, which works great with your Dark Magician Circle, which is the reason why I think this card's gotten better because of this card. And the fact that they're both technically searchable. Yeah, it's pretty good. so yeah, we run 3 of each. Definitely, if you haven't picked these up yet, guys, pick them up because they're going to keep going up until there's a reprint. And who knows when that can be. That could be a year from now plus. Next, we got 2 Spellbook of Secrets, 2 Spellbook of Knowledge. This is your mini draw engine for your deck. You have so much searchability and draw power with this deck, it's crazy. Because this can help you add stuff. You have your rod, you're going to be adding and drawing so many cards with this deck. You're going to have very good hands. It's probably the most consistent out of all the Dark Magicians deck builds. So definitely 2 Spellbook of Knowledge, your draw card, your Searcher, a Spellbook of Secrets, and then Little Boy Blue, which we've talked about earlier. He can add these things. Or you can search him out and then do crazy things with him too. Next we run 2 Secret Village of the Spellcasters and 1 Terraforming. People sometimes like this. I know Sky Striker is not as played, but it's still a great card. It's funny when you run into a Spellbook deck and then they cry. Because they're like, I had that happen, and you would think, oh, that's great. They could actually draw cards, still do their things. They have a Spellcaster. Well, sad thing was he didn't have a Spellcaster in his opening hand. So he couldn't do anything. So in some instances, against certain decks, it is a very good card still. And I like it. Now, if you're taking this deck into a tournament, I would side deck this out. It's not always going to be good against a spell-based deck. Like I said, that instance against Spellbooks, it worked great because he didn't have a Spellcaster. But because this card was amazing with Sky Strikers running around. It's not as good nowadays, but it's still such a powerful card. And it's so easy to get a Spellcaster out to lock your opponent down. It becomes a soft lock. I mean, why not run it? And I will say this, if you're going into game 2 and you're saying to yourself, okay, this deck does not run Spellcast. Maybe I'm running into a more trap-heavy deck. Side deck this out. You just go take this out and put 3 cards in your extra deck into it. in your side deck, excuse me, not extra deck, your side deck into your main deck. It's a card that can be easily sided out game 2 and 3. So that's what I say to that. Next, I run 1 Dark Magician Inheritance, 1 Dark Magic Attack. Run this card. Just run it. It's a Harpy's Feather Duster that's so easy to get off. I see people cutting this and I keep going, why? It's searchable. It's Harpy's Feather Duster. Okay. Next we run Illusion Magic. I still like this as a 1 of. I run 1 Secrets of Dark Magic. This is good fusion card for the deck. 1 Eye of Timaeus. These are going to make your main fusion play monsters for the deck. So these are kind of your Dark Magician cards-esque for the deck. Eye of Timaeus is not searchable, we know this, but it's still good, a great card in the deck. So yep, those are your cards that help support your deck, your Dark Magician themes. Like I said, Timaeus is not searchable. Upstart, Monster Reborn, just good generic spell cards. And don't forget that the reason I'm running Upstart is because it helps fuel my extra deck for certain cards, which is nice. Trap lineup, Magician's Navigation, 2 Eternal Soul. It's pretty straightforward there, guys. Not too convoluted. Some people, I like 2 Eternal Souls nowadays because it's Magician's Souls, and 2 Navigation because of that reason. So that is your trap lineup. Let's get on to the extra deck, guys. We run our Dark Magician Girl Field Center. Our Yugi tokens, because Yugi lost to Pegasus, so he was made into a token. Yeah, you didn't see that episode. It was banned outside of Japan. Yeah, you didn't see that, right? And then we have, because we're going to Duelist Kingdom this summer, apparently Crush card did not affect Duelist Kingdom. Next we have the Dark Magicians. We run 2 of that. Great card, great fusion. 1 Amulet Dragon. Don't discontent how good this card is and how powerful it can get. I've sometimes used Timaeus to go into this and win games. 1 Dark Magician's the Dragon Knight, and the 1 Dark Paladin, which is pretty much you run because it's good against certain matchups, and it's just nice to have. For your Exceeds, we run Big Eye, Dragosack, Red Eye's Flare Metal Dragon with the different coloration on top. We run Ebonon Illusion, and Ebonon High Magician. So those are your Exceed level 7s, your fusions. Now let's get into our links. I run Cross Sheep as a 1 of. You sometimes will go for it. It's just there. We run Cerberus, Phoenix, Unicorn, and Blackluster Soldier of Chaos as a 1 of. You could run Bowl Sword. You could run something else if you want to. I'm going to be honest. I never go into a link 4 monster in this deck's history. I've gone for it a few times. Like once in a red moon, not even a blue moon, a red moon. If that's rare, I don't know, but yes, if you get what I'm trying to explain here, you don't go for it as much. And so for that reason, I decided to run this because I find this is coming up more than, you know, a level 4 link play. So that's just my opinion. If you want to fit it in there, maybe take the Cross Sheep out and run it. It's up to you. But that's the extra deck, guys. I know some people are like, oh, you're running too many fusions for what you have. Hey, it's fine. These will come in handy if you draw the Timaeus, and you have other ways of going for this. So, yep, I like it that way. So, yeah, the deck's worked out pretty well for me, guys, recently. I thoroughly enjoy playing this deck. It's one of those decks that eventually, hopefully, one day I'll get, if I can find somebody to duel with, I can actually record some Dark Magician and Blue Eyes content for you guys, which I think you guys would all enjoy. But yeah, guys, Dark Magician, it's pretty straightforward. Like I said, the main difference right now is because everybody doesn't have access to Eternal Souls, which I understand. And like I said, you can run different cards. You can run it in a Dark Magician Girl with some text. You could maybe run it with Eye of Timaeus and some other cards. There's different routes to take. But I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. And until next time, take care, have fun dueling. Good luck dueling to all of you. Hopefully this deck profile was informed you on just some different ways you can build your deck. And until next time, guys, I'll see you. Good luck dueling to all of you. And remember, guys, to screw the rules and do not believe in the heart of the cards. Do not believe in that foolery.